Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a rundown of some of the most outrageous, cringy, and terrible things Trisha did and said during her time on the extinct Frenemies podcast. But before we get into it, I just wanted to introduce you guys to my new favorite game recently, which happens to also be the sponsor of today's video, and it's called Traffic Puzzle. Traffic Puzzle is kind of a combination of car, match 3, and puzzle. It's a really fun game, and the premise is basically that there is an evil force that's created a mess on the streets, and it's your job to clear it out for ambulances to pass through, trains, helicopters to land. It's a puzzle game, so it's kind of strategic in a way, but I also like it because you can kind of just like sit back and relax and play it. It's just really cute. It's very colorful, and there's like a lot of fun characters. You can play by yourself or play with your friends. I like it because you get to kind of like train your brain and get better and better at it and compete with other players and leaderboards. It's just a really fun game. I highly recommend it. Link down below, check it out. I love playing it, and I also forgot to mention it's completely free to play. You guys can scan my QR code somewhere on this page. It's also in the description. On to the video. As you probably know, the Frenemies podcast with Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas lasted for a short time, but was definitely filled with some moments that we will never forget and some that we wish we could. Let's kick this off with a little moment back in episode 4. Is Trisha smarter than a 5th grader? Spoiler alert, she is not.
Can we just also say we don't actually need gravity? Like, we actually don't need it.
What do you mean that we don't need gravity?
What if it was never invented?
Invented by who?
Sir Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton created gravity?
Whoever created gravity, someone did, but we don't actually need it.
There was a time on Earth before gravity existed?
Yes! Who created gravity, babe?
Do you mean we don't need gravity? I'm curious about that statement.
We just don't need it.
But like, I don't understand that statement. Like that we could exist without gravity?
Yes. But that's all we know. Nobody would know any different. Literally don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm literally checked out of this conversation.
It seems like Trisha might have gotten the extent of her scientific knowledge from TikTok here, but I think the most interesting part of the clip is not the fact that she is ignorant to literally gravity, but more how defensive she gets. Once Ethan starts trying to understand what she means by saying that we don't need gravity, Trisha starts to shut down. Granted, you can hear laughing in the background, and this might be what attributes her defense, but when Ethan presses to figure out the depth of what she's saying, she shuts down and lashes out. The entire vibe changes. Another moment that is actually super relevant to current headlines is during episode 20 of Frenemies when the Britney Spears conservatorship is brought up in conversation.
No, I love Britney.
Oh my god.
But I don't blame Jamie all the way, and if you're listening, Jamie Spears, like, I would love to just join Britney. Meaning, like, she lives close to us where we moved, and I would like to be her friend off social media. I'll sign an NDA.
So you're making a play to be friends with the dad so you can get the Britney?
No, I want to be friends with Britney. Like, let me in, you know? Like,
but why are you defending her dad? She explicitly said, I'm okay to do this, I just don't want my dad to do it.
So maybe I could do it. Of her life, of not her finances.
So you have to get Jamie's consent. She has no.
That's why I'm saying, Jamie, I don't think you're crazy.
So
I think you're doing a fine job.
Jamie's her dad. Say nice things about her dad.
I think you're doing a fine job. You raised Britney. Look how successful she is. Like, that was you. Jamie Spears, I've always actually respected him. Like, again, this documentary opened up some things. I don't need money. I just want to be the conservative of her life. I just want to control her life. He can control the finances. I just want to control her life. Can I be your conservative?
I think it's pretty clear that Trisha's intentions are maybe not the best for Britney and possibly fueled by some selfish aspects. She almost makes me think that she really cares until she drops the I'll control her life part, which is just so icky and inappropriate. A true fan, or someone who really cared, would just want her to be free. A little context as well, prior to this part of the conversation, Trisha actually said that she and Moses had discussed setting up something similar for herself, like Moses having conservatorship over Trisha. So why on this earth she thinks that she would be an appropriate choice is just beyond me. That gives us a little segue into our next one, with Trisha being no stranger to mental health issues. It is no secret at this point that Trisha has claimed to suffer from multiple mental health issues, and we've actually done a video covering this topic before, but during Frenemies episode 34, which was also Trisha's birthday celebration, Trisha is unleashed into a rant about how people use their mental health as an excuse.
Oh, how bad that feels.
Okay, but no, I
You just
don't.
had a bad
Oh,
day.
no, stop. I am so sick of people using mental health as an excuse to be like a shit person or not know what's going on in the world, because I have a lot of mental health problems, and I know not to lie about people, not to be delusional, not to accuse people of stuff that they didn't do, not to say someone wasn't essayed or whatever the fuck, like, not him and other people this week. Oh, I have ADHD, I had this. It's like,
Okay.
get it under control. It's not other people's problem.
At this point, we all know and we have all talked about it, but it's a common thread throughout Trisha's behavior that she tends to appropriate and obsess over new topics, cultures, and lifestyles. One of the most recent ones is the Jewish culture, with the whole drama of her allegedly paying a rabbi as she couldn't get through conversion school, as well as wearing a Star of David, even though many people have asked her not to, as it is disrespectful.
Well, I have a Star of David on today, too. Shout out to David.
Who's David? Go ahead. Who's David?
Star.
Who's David? Jewish expert.
One thing that Ethan has called Trisha out for numerous times is fetishizing Jewish men and the Jewish religion.
Like, why are you fetishizing the army?
Because now this is my new culture.
All those converting to Judaism, and of course just my Christians who get down with the Old Testament, Genesis all the way. So today is Rosh Hashanah, and guess what?
Why do you know believing the New Testament is like sacrilege to Judaism? That's all a lie.
Right, but Jewish people don't believe in hell, so what's it matter if I believe in the New Testament? What do they think was wrong with me?
Well, they just don't think you're Jewish.
Oh, well, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm Jewish by insemination.
Gross. What the fuck?
My expert Jew lover, Moses, but he's not here right now, and I wish he was.
Dude,
He
you're
knows
a
all
freak.
this stuff.
But you see, this whole obsession and fetishization makes me a little uncomfortable.
It's not fetishizing, it's a preference. If I prefer to date Jewish men.
Okay.
While she has become obsessed with Jewish culture, it was quite late in life that she learned about the Holocaust.
I mean, I hope so. I've been,
But
like,
there again, you literally didn't even know about the Holocaust existed like a month ago. So.
Holocaust aside, I do know Jewish history very well. Because I was like a poser most of my life.
How can you not know about the Holocaust and know about Jewish trivia?
Because every Jewish guy I've dated never brought that up. They brought up Rosh Hashanah, so I had to like learn what that is, you know, like all these things. And now with my Israeli fiance, I have to learn about
Okay, well, we'll put you to the test today, that's for sure.
Even though we saw it time and time again throughout the Frenemies podcast of how Ethan genuinely cared about Trisha, she really just loved to remind him how much she hates him or doesn't care about him.
Your life is sad and pathetic, and mine is happy, thriving. So good
Mine
luck.
is not-
I hate people just like that. Are you? You're the person I hate in this world.
No.
I can see why you've been with the same person for 12 years.
Thank you.
You have no other options, and quite frankly, I don't blame you. I actually don't really care that much for you.
Really? You never liked me?
No.
I apologize.
I don't apologize for anything I said about you,
That's okay.
and I'll say it again. You're the next to be canceled.
On top of continuously being rude to Ethan himself, Trisha also made a habit of bringing up family things during the podcast on camera.
And Moses doesn't like you, and you guys don't like him, and that's cool. I'm
See, that's
happy.
that's stupid.
But it's true.
Another time, Trisha took it a little far and was inserting her opinion and judgment on Hila and Ethan having a nanny after she got triggered in an argument.
When I have a kid, I'm not gonna have nannies. That's pretty, I'm sure.
What does that mean? You're trying to attack our parental abilities?
Let's just move on.
Well, everybody has nanny. They work. People work.
You can take care of kids and work. I never
How?
had a nanny.
It's clear that Trisha was just trying to hurt Ethan and wanted something negative to throw out at him, and then attempted to backtrack by saying that he asked for her opinion. That's literally not what happened at all, and she was the one who pulled this out of the air and weaponized it. It's one of those huge red flags that Trisha has, that when she gets triggered or upset, she comes for you on so many levels. Like, this was obviously something that she fully thought and judged about before this argument was even born. So it makes you wonder how many other negative things she thinks about under the surface. And to flip this, once Ethan calls her out for it, it's just petty and frustrating. Not to mention just coming for Hila as a person, like, always.
She's not your fucking bitch.
She's not.
And you are too, and you're a fucking cuck.
Hila asked not to be included, and I'm respecting her request.
All the time,
If-
but her, don't fucking mention her name. Dumb fucking bitch.
Okay.
Literally, I don't want to come back because I really fucking hate her. Just all this
She
shit.
just
and
doesn't
she's
want
too
you.
good. She's too
not
good.
too good.
Don't fucking mention my name.
Not about you. It's between Hila and her brother. Family, it's different.
No.
We all know Trisha is obsessed with money, and whether it's making it or spending it, money is a huge part of her brand and her voice. The 5% issue came up on the Frenemies podcast numerous times, so much that it is now a meme. But the thing that stays with me is that Trisha was also incredibly rude about the H3 team, who were the ones putting the whole show together.
But you're saying saying you have all this crew that does all this work for you, and nobody could remember that you talked about that 2 days prior? Okay, let's go
I
through
just
your
wanna make
stupid.
sure that
I don't
everyone
like
got
this
pizza.
segment. Just for the record, fan advice is a stupid segment.
Why?
You can do it. It's so dumb. What's the point?
You're not
I'm
upset.
not.
Okay. All
But
right.
it is like frustrating when you think you do all this work and like think, oh, we're doing all this great stuff, and it's like it's not that great sometimes.
It seems that Trisha just wanted the show to be written, staged, and produced, and just show up as a talent, all the while complaining when the topics or theme wasn't exactly what she wanted, while offering basically no input or contribution. Remember old Trisha's political videos?
Trump running for president of the United States of America. Well, I think it's just peachy. I think it's superb, actually. Because if Donald Trump's in the White House, well, then the White House obviously needs a Marilyn Monroe.
Well, she retracted that and went a different way politically, which is totally fine, but is she getting involved in politics for the right reasons?
My first
Okay,
election, I voted.
okay, that's great.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you voted.
I did it for the TikTok where it was like.
Oh, man, you ruined it.
No, because there's a TikTok where it's like young me and then me now, and so I was like me 4 years ago, like looking at me voting now, and it was like, wow.
Would you vote if there wasn't a TikTok trend? Be 100% honest.
No.
Ethan and Trisha openly talked about weight all the time on the Frenemies podcast, and more often than not, it was positive self-awareness type talk. But any time Trisha felt threatened or offended, she of course would immediately attack Ethan's weight and sometimes unknowingly make hurtful remarks too.
So, in fact, some would say you have a sizable amount of gravity.
What's that mean? I'm fat? You're calling me fat now.
Yeah, attractive. Thank you, Moses.
Well, you're fat. You're fatty.
Doesn't bother me.
Keep eating fatty.
Oh my god.
Go read a book and eat chocolate fatty.
Wait till I take the lead.
No one wants to fuck you,
But
fatty.
what do you mean that...
I think I look cute.
Okay.
It makes me look tiny. Look how tiny I look from the side. I'm so skinny.
Okay.
Last time I looked huge. I looked like I was so close to the camera. I looked like your size. I was like, oh my god, I'm not that big. But also, you're kind of skinny. 226.
It's safe to say that the Frenemies podcast really was born to die, but I gotta be honest with you, I kind of miss it. Trisha has said before that she doesn't often keep friends for very long because of how she acts, and I think that Ethan was her best shot at having a friend in her life that really cared for her and was going to call her out on her shit, all the while being funny and kind. Since the Frenemies podcast split, things have been nothing but toxic between the two of them, and it's possible that there is no chance of reconciliation. But if there ever is, we'll be watching for sure. That's it today, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe as we post new videos every single day. For now, I'll leave you guys with this eye bleach.